the main reason in coming to the ranch is we want to grow the business. We want to be able to bring on more people in the community that can feel comfortable about the jobs that they're doing. But for me, not really finding the jobs are the hard part. It's about finding the people that I feel like can do the jobs. And I feel like that after being at the ranch and talking, that maybe I'm one of those people that maybe have high, super high expectations. And I realize that I don't have to have those in order to be able to take care of customers and to be able to bring more people on with your help, obviously. There was a lot of aha moments, and I know that we've talked about that at the ranch. But
then, of course, I have the individual sessions, and now I've started the group sessions. What made you decide to do a group session versus an individual session, or even a do-it-yourself session? Why not stay there and do it rather than invest the money to come here?
I'll be honest with you, a lot of it was the money. 2 points. First point, I wanted you to come to my establishment, and I'll be honest with you, I wanted you to do the work for me. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to roll it out. I didn't know where the first clue was, even though I've been in business for 22 years and I've been doing this a long time. It's a whole different strategy on the other side of it when you're trying to put systems in. So money was a big thing for me. When I had talked to you and we had talked about possibly doing a group setting, and I thought, you know what, I would get the opportunity to meet with you, meet with other, homeowners or business owners that do residential homes and stuff, that I felt that it was the best thing for me to do. And really the times that I spoke to you, you've always made me feel like I was a somebody and not a nobody, and that was huge for me to be able to make that decision to come to you. Really, for me, I wanted to be able to empower me as a business owner to feel the confidence to be able to sit employees down and roll out the new programs and making them feel that it was for them and not for the better of me. Your big thing is your repeat customers. What is your repeat customers? You need to know that at the end of the day. That's, anybody that gets to know you knows that you are all about the numbers. What is it at the end of the day? I probably think that there are probably 70% of businesses out there that do not know what their repeat client number is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a cleaning company. I mean, it could be in an embroidery business. It could be anything. That to me was kind of an eye-opener, to really understand that, because if you don't know what your numbers are, then how do you know if you're really growing? Just because you think that you've added XYZ number amount of customers each year and you say, oh, I'm growing, really, are you growing, or did you lose that many more customers than you thought that you were growing when in fact you're not? So back from the ranch, I mean, I literally hit the floor going, and I haven't stopped. So this weekend is the weekend, which will be the first weekend that I've been back, that we are actually going to go ahead and we're going to get it all organized and put that on the wall. And that way Monday morning when the employees come in, they're going to go, what is this? And then I will be able to roll out part of the program. One of the things was on hiring new employees. I actually put that into process on Tuesday when we came back. So the hiring process for me was huge. And again, I've always tried to hire people based on recommendations from other people, and sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. So for me, just realizing that the people are out there, they're like a needle in a haystack, and you gotta find them. So for me, that was good. As far as the hiring of the new employee, one of the things that I learned from the workshop was to make yourself look like an owner. Don't be dressed in the same uniform that you're going to put them in. Make yourself stand above so that they know that they're talking to somebody that, has a little bit more authority, the owner, a supervisor. So I did that exact thing. I did not bring that person to my office. I met them at another facility to keep the surroundings just comfortable for them, but not allowing their eyes to kind of like move all over, you know, our office, because I think the distractions and stuff are there. So I dressed up, I met them at another facility, and in the program, you put in their interviewing questions. I used those interviewing questions, and it gave me a lot of insight on that individual in the small amount of time that I was able to be with them to decide whether or not they would be a good fit for our company. And it was huge. And then I asked her why she would want to come and work for our company, and she said, you sound like a fun company, a fun place to work, but yet you have a lot of professionalism as well. And that, to me, sounds like a place that I feel like that I could work as well. The training process, the core part of it, I think is awesome. The videos that you put out are top notch. If anybody doesn't come to any of your, you know, one-on-ones or whatever, they definitely need to go to your website, and they definitely need to order those because those are top notch.
Good, good. So we spent quite a bit of time on the cleaning process because obviously that's what it's all about, is cleaning these homes, right? If you get that done, you keep your customers.
The leadership series is something that I am probably going to watch and listen to over and over, because I think it's kind of like watching a really good movie, and then you go back and you watch it and then you go, oh, aha, I didn't know that I missed that the first time around. Leadership is about empowering people and not managing them. I completely got a whole bird's eye view on leadership versus management, and leadership is very important if you want to grow your business and make the people that you have at your company feel important. And that, to me, is the most important thing. I want the employees to feel like they have a heart and that they're not just a number. But management side, they also need to know that they need to produce those numbers. But in order to get the numbers produced, you need to treat people like you really, truly do care that they're there. And the leadership side of it really gives you the opportunity to see things that you thought you knew that you didn't really know.
The group, they were so much fun. I have to tell
the fact, A, that you opened it up for no distractions. I think when you're trying to learn in a setting and you're trying to get as much information as you can possibly learn based on the amount of time that you have, and we had literally less than 48 hours, I loved it that there were no distractions. We didn't have to worry about, you know, somebody coming in the room, you know, this, that, or whatever. It was literally, it was our room. You know, you were in charge of it. We had, you know, everything was laid out for us. And that, to me, was huge because we didn't have to worry about, you know, anything else getting in our way. The other thing is the venue allowed us to engage where, and again, because of the no distractions, we were able to engage upon each other and the questions. And you know, if somebody had, you know, a hard time understanding something, it was comfortable. If you felt like you needed to get up and you needed to get a fresh of breath air or whatever, you could go out, but yet you still felt like that you were still, you know, a part of the group. So I felt the venue was. I was a little concerned, really. I'll be honest with you. You know, okay, you know, I'm not really so sure about it. But after getting there and seeing how it was set up, I think it's key on. It's good.
Good. On the agenda.
Wow, that was packed. I'm still trying to catch up from little sleep and stuff. But again, I mean, you know what? If you want to really grow your business, you know, businesses don't sleep. They only grow and they stay awake all the time. So there was a lot that we covered. I mean, we got there, I believe, around 6:15 on a Friday night, And we immediately dove into it. I don't even think we got back to our rooms until, way after, 11:30 midnight. And that was good, because I think you captured the group and you were like, okay, we've got a lot going on, let's get started. And I think it was awesome. The second day was amazing, packed full of information. You literally did not give us time to really, stop and think about, what our families were doing or, what we could be doing that weekend and stuff. I mean, we were engaged in the entire weekend. So anybody that wants to do this needs to understand that it's not a little vacation. It is about growing your business, and you're going to get the information. It's there. You just gotta be willing to, put the time in and have little sleep. I gained so much weight. I literally was like, you're like, oh, okay, here, we're getting ready to eat dinner, and I'm going, wait a minute, we just had lunch. I mean, no, the food was, you did an amazing job. I mean, it was 5-star quality food, amazing food. Love the fact that you took the opportunity to ask us about our needs based on, what we like, what we don't like, and you incorporated that. Not every single time in every meal, but there were meals that I literally, when I was eating, I was like, you know what? Sharon paid attention. She knows that I didn't like this. They got that. I didn't get this. And you were amazing. You did a great job. Thank you. It was really good.
Thank you.
And I believe that sees this, if they have any kind of inkling that they're not sure where to go or what to do, they really need to contact you and find out when your next session is going to be. I really feel like that it is going to change their life if they want their life to change. If they say they want it to change, then go to one of your sessions. If they just want to talk and they don't want to make any action, then they need to just stay where they're at and not bother you. Because
so when were you first introduced to core training, the core training DVDs and the core training process?
September of last year.
Oh, so it wasn't until Country Harvest. Okay. How did you train before you came there and you learned this process and got the DVDs?
How did we train? Well, we required the people come in with singing skills, and then we would just watch over them and pinpoint what they did wrong, and that's pretty much it. There was really no set training, so that was a.
Did you only hire experienced people, Anita?
Right.
Now you don't care if they're experienced or not?
No, as long as they are willing to learn, as long as they're responsible, as reliable, and want to learn, they can learn it.
Good. Okay. So let's talk about the old system versus the new system that you started a year ago. How long did it used to take you to train somebody to know the area, not necessarily dealing with getting up to the speed, but having good quality and knowing how to clean a home? How long did that used to take for a person?
About 2 weeks, 3.
Okay, and how long does it take now? We have a little, and how long does it take now?
Right now, about a week.
A week, okay. So it hasn't decreased. Is it decreased it by about a week, you think?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Now, in the old days before core, were you training all 3 areas or just one area?
Usually 2 areas. Because we were a team of 2, each had to know either in a kitchen and so that was taking a longer time. That's part of it. But another huge part of it is because we didn't have a set training. I mean, there was no rules, there was no training program for them.
Okay. So are you having them only start in the bathrooms now? Is that what you're doing?
Depending on what we need for that, sometimes we do have them start at kitchen. Sometimes we have some of our employees have actually, at first, they were they were thinking about, oh, do we really have to do the bathrooms? And they fell in love with those bathrooms. And when we bring a new person, they're like, well, I want to stay and do the bathrooms. So then we train the new person in the kitchen.
Okay, cool. And that makes sense. You have 3-people teams, so you're still only training one area, though. Okay, cool. And that might, you're right, that would cut down the amount of training time a bit. In the old system that you had, how long did it take for them to have good quality, perfect quality, if was that possible, and how long is it taking now to get their quality to where it needs to be?
It took a while before. Sometimes they wouldn't pass the training. I mean, 2 to 3 weeks, and they just wouldn't go any further, and that's because we didn't have set expectations or set training for them. So, I mean, a lot of them, they didn't make it. Now, after about a week, they know their stuff. So they might not be as up to speed as the other individuals are, but it's just a matter of a few weeks and they'll be up to speed just like them. So now people know what they need to learn. We know how to teach them and what to teach them. It's just expectations are there, and it's just so much easier on everyone. I think that even the employees that have been with us for a while, they see more of a future now that we have some training in place, and especially those team leaders out there, they now, when the field manager goes and trains them and hands that person onto their group, it's so much easier on them because there isn't my way or your way. There's just one way of having things done.
Well, and that's a very nice segue into my next question, which is, do your cleaners follow the process exactly?
Yes. At least whenever we show, they didn't always, but once we started to enforcing it and showing up and just being really super strict about it, they know that's the only way they know.
Okay.
First and foremost, if you want to grow your business, then this is a must. You've got to have a system in place that can be repeated and repeated easily. Second, I would say learn things that you thought you knew, but you really didn't. And that's me. And third, it's great to see others that have been in your shoes, and so that's a perfect way to, instead of going to just a class where everyone's doing the same thing, you're actually seeing someone that has once been there. So you're seeing us, the business owners. You're seeing
smallness of the group is key, because if we taught this in a large group of 80 or 90, you would probably still take it home, core, put it up on a shelf like many people who own it have done, and not utilize it. But once you actually get there and do it yourself, it's a totally different ballgame. So Anita, I'm sure, is willing to take phone calls and emails. So this is her email address and her phone number. Is that okay, Anita?
Yeah, sure.